I guess just to start, what characters do you play again? I can't remember if you mentioned them to me in the Discord.
Right now, okay. I always started with Nas because I used to use Nas in 64 and Melee. I know
Okay.
he sucks now. I didn't know about tier list at
Nah,
that
nah.
time when the games
Definitely
came out.
play who you enjoy first
Yeah.
and foremost.
Then like I don't know. I played Brawl, then Smash 4,
Mhm.
and I don't know. In Smash 4, I fell in love with Mega Man, and I really like Mega Man. I think I'm maining him more right now. I
Okay.
was maining like some months ago, Olimar, but
Yeah.
like when they nerfed him,
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
know you
weren't they
know.
weren't too kind to him.
I don't know.
Um.
I feel like with Olimar, I feel like I don't know how you do it. You're so good. Like I feel like if I'm close to somebody, I can't do anything. I feel so vulnerable.
He's definitely the type of character that, similar to how Mega Man is, in that they're not traditionally played like others. Like Mega Man doesn't have the typical jab or the typical F tilt or something. He's got his pellets. He's got his
Yeah.
own attacks. Olimar's very similar in that he has attacks that might be similar to others, but the way he operates with his own attacks and his speed and all that, you have to go
Mm-hmm.
about things a certain way, and it's something that you
Yeah.
refine over time. And you don't play him how you would play a lot of other characters. But
Yeah.
no, he can definitely
Yeah.
do it in a lot of ways. Um, that being said, since I know you were telling me you were pretty new to competing and stuff, I'm gonna start out with someone who's not Olimar to play you in some matches, just because I don't want to overwhelm you, and
Yeah,
just
that
it
was what I
just ends
wanted
up
to
messing
say
you up.
because yeah, if I use Mega Man, I know Mega Man loses to Olimar because
Um,
he can't get the Pikmin off,
yeah.
right?
So, I'll start as Marth for some games. We can go to just some simple stages, get some games in, point things out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Um, um, I know you know everything about Olimar, but I had some questions, like, you know, like Mega Man. Like I can't find the way how to use the pellets and the blade in hand. I know, like I see it. I know I see players do it, but
mhm.
I don't know. It just feels weird to me, and I wish I used more pellets and
So
the blade. Yeah.
I'm definitely not the most experienced when it comes to a lot of other characters like Mega Man. He's a bit more niche. But what I
I
will
know.
try to do is point things out when we're playing, because I've seen and I've played against other Mega Mans. So I
Mm-hmm.
can try and tell you that. I don't. I will say, if I say something not too sure on about another character, I will let you know. Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe, I alternatively, I always recommend watching other really strong players, like other good Mega Man players.
Mm-hmm.
Like Morpheus. I think Kameme still plays him. Peebnut plays him. There's just some off the top of my head that are pretty good with Mega Man. And then
You know, I wrote to Yeti, but I don't think
Yeti, yeah, Yeti's gonna. A
he
lot of them are super bad about responding. You could
yeah.
try messaging
Like,
Morpheus. I feel like he's pretty good about responding to people.
do you think he gives lessons for Mega Man?
I don't know if he gives lessons,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you can still ask a couple questions. Did you
Yeah.
see the room information I sent you just to make sure you didn't miss it? I sent it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sent it in Discord.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I just want to make sure you didn't miss it. But yeah, I'll try and point things out. I don't know everything about how to like use certain tools, but if I feel like you're
Mhm.
not using something enough, I can try and let you know more. But I definitely do recommend, if
We
you
can do
can,
just a
watching
little
some.
bit of Mega Man and then go full Olimar because
Are,
I know,
do you
like, I want,
do you still
you
want to
know,
play Olimar? I mean, because if you feel like Mega Man is your character that you want to play, don't. I can still give you legitimate advice and help you get better at playing him. It's just it won't be as specific as someone who plays Mega Man, but I can still point out the more fundamental aspects. But if
I
you,
want,
sorry, go on.
no, I want to do both. And I
Okay.
want to have two characters, but I think like Olimar and Mega Man, they have kind of the same of weaknesses sometimes, like or matchups, losing matchups,
Yeah.
or no. Yeah,
Um.
so I don't know, but I really enjoy those two characters. I
Okay.
really
Well,
enjoy.
I'm
I don't know.
happy to
Yeah,
teach you Olimar. That's
yeah,
so we can start with some Mega Man and go from there. Olimar,
yeah.
I definitely will be able to probably articulate my thoughts a bit better and give you some more direct advice on how to do things with him.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll start out with Marth and then we can go from there. I have my random stage switch set to most tournament legal stages if you want to run that. Alternatively, we can just pick a stage. Like right now, I just have Smashville selected somewhere simple.
Yeah, I always do random and the legal stages.
Okay.
I really hate the Yoshi stages.
I
I don't
have
know
them
why.
on here just because it's kind of like a broad thing. So I'll just pick
I
Smashville in
know.
this case, just so you're not getting stages that you don't like.
Yeah.
Um,
I always play them because if I get them in tournament, I'm gonna play them, right?
that's a good mentality to have. To be honest,
Yeah.
you don't want to like.
Like Like
So
when my friends, let's say I choose Mega Man and he goes Wolf, I
mhm.
know I'm gonna lose because of the reflector most of the time.
you
But I'm like I wanna be able to beat the losing matches. That's my mentality always.
Yeah, and that's you want to have that like, okay, it's rough, it's going to be hard on me to be able to do this certain thing, but I can definitely do it. You don't. A lot of
Mhm.
matchups aren't so cut and dry where it's like they have a reflector, so they beat Mega Man or something like that. There's
Yeah,
usually a lot of ways to work around it, and there's a lot
yeah.
more depth to each matchup. But yeah, we'll play some games here, and we'll see how it goes. And I'll give you my feedback on things.
So we just play.
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
gonna play.
Then ah, I missed it.
Close.
Yeah. Ah, I was trying to time it. Oh, I didn't have my second jump.
Yeah, and I
I
caught the
always save
pull
it.
there
I always save it for after the.
after the up B.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh no! I was hoping I could get to the ledge with that LB.
I hate Mega Man's grab.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Ah. I hate it when I go over.
Yeah, when you cross
Um
someone up like that.
yeah.
That's usually, you just gotta be careful about your movement and making sure you're not going in too far with something. Like, you want to just have that really fine control of your movement so that you know exactly where you're going.
Do you use tilt stick or
I use Smash Stick, but it's really good for Olimar. But it's something
yeah.
that I prefer. Oh, that was a bad jump on my part.
Nailed it. Oh.
I could have probably forward smash there.
I'm really bad. Like I never use spot dodge. I wish like I don't know. I know how to do it, right? But
Yeah.
it's not in me like to do it. I don't know why. And I
Most
need to.
most of the time at like lower levels of like gameplay, when people are really like figuring out how to get better at the game, they oftentimes don't do certain, they'll either over rely on certain options, like maybe you'll roll too much specifically or air dodge all the
Mhm.
time, but then they oftentimes ignore other ones like maybe spot dodging, things like that. So that usually comes down to just like making sure that you're working on your general game awareness when you're playing, so you're not autopiloting and kind of like zoning out and just hitting buttons, but instead that you're
That's
like,
that. Mhm. Sorry.
instead
Sorry.
you're kind of like, okay, I'm getting, he's hitting my shield right here. All right, well, I know that he's doing that, so I'm going to get ready and I'm going to, spot dodge or something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so like, let's say you have trouble spot dodging, like you were saying.
Mhm.
So when the best times to spot dodge are generally if you know your opponent's about to throw out an attack, like let's say they're approaching,
Mhm.
or you just did something, you just hit their shield with something, and you feel like they're going to immediately punish. So a good example is pre-patch Olimar up smash, right? Pre-patch Olimar
Mhm.
up smash was really safe on shield against a lot of characters because it was -5. Um, so a lot of the times Olimar players would up smash spot dodge immediately after because the opponent
Mhm.
would try and shield grab it, and then they would dodge their grab and then they'd punish. Okay, well, for a lot of people that became a kind of like a second nature thing where they would not think about doing the spot dodge, they just do it. But the initial thought behind that spot dodge was I attack. Okay, well, what's my fastest option to get me out of here that's going to make sure I'm not going to get grabbed or attack or anything? Well, it's spot
Mhm.
dodge. So that's why they're going for it, and they would attack after. Spot dodging in most cases, it's just the attack's going to be there, or you want to try and get a quick option out to save you that's not necessarily going to be as committal as something like a roll. So when you're fighting someone like that, you want to try and work on that awareness of paying attention to what's happening and evaluating in the moment. And that's a skill that you'll refine as you keep playing and practicing and working on it, like putting
Mhm.
that real effort into every action you do and really just able to like look at the game, the situation that you're in, and go, okay, my opponent's doing this attack or they're about to, so I need to have an appropriate response to it.
Okay.
And like you said, you told me you were, I think, you went to your first tournament the other day, you said?
Yeah, yeah. I got like there were like 60,
Okay, that's pretty good.
and I got like 13.
That's pretty good out of that many people. And
Yeah.
being, so new to that competitive gameplay, you're going to have to refine a lot of those skills um, with your competing. So like being aware of everything and making sure you're working on your spot dodge and stuff. That's something that takes a lot of time and effort. But the biggest thing is just making sure that when you're playing, you're putting in that like very intentional effort to work on it. Because if you just play and you don't put too much thought into it, yeah, you'll get better gradually, but you're not gonna know why you're getting better a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, like sometimes I really zone out and I just play
Yeah,
without thinking.
yeah, that's very natural for a lot of people, and I mean, a lot of the best, a lot of good players can even do it too when they're kind of just not thinking. But in tournament, like the way I look at it is like this, right? When I'm in tournament, I'm hyper focused on what I'm doing because these matches are important to me and I'm paying attention to them. So when I'm in that tournament match or when I'm in a serious setting where I want to practice or do something important, it's like, okay, well, let's pay attention to what's happening. When I do these hits, I need to see how my opponent's reacting. I need to see when you throw out an attack, you assume it's going to work. You have this plan of how it should go in your head. And if it doesn't work, then you can go, okay, well, why didn't my game plan work? What happened? And then that's when you can kind of identify, like, okay, maybe I mistimed it, or maybe he rolled there, something like that. And that's
Okay.
gonna help you get better at identifying. Oh shit! Slightly misspaced that.
I think I used too much smash his smash attack and it's too slow.
Yeah, you got to be careful with his smash attacks. They're really good for like tech chasing an opponent. So, like, let's say you put them in a knockdown and then they're rolling somewhere. Like that forward smash can help travel, but you do want to be careful about using forward smash. I definitely see what you were saying about how you don't really use his pellets a lot.
Right? I
Um,
hate it.
and that's something that you definitely are going to learn how to use, ideally from watching or talking to other Mega Mans or just playing the character more. Because, I don't know the specifics of the move, but it's a lot of the time it's like using them while you're walking and then maybe incorporating a jump in there with them. Because it's your neutral air, your forward tilt, and your jab.
Yeah.
So you can kind of work it in while you're moving.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's so good because it can disrupt people a lot of the time, and that's like where the strength comes in. Because it can make it hard to get in, and then you get the punish, and then they buffer an option after they're hit. Then you're able to capitalize on that if they miss or something.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different ways to mix it up. So aside from maybe talking to another Mega Man player who might be able to help you, are you in the Mega Man Discord? I recommend that because, I mean, I don't personally know how that Discord is. I'm not in it. I know different character Discords tend to have different environments. Not saying they're like bad or anything, but
Yeah.
like the Olimar Discord, for instance, is really friendly. There's a bunch of really good resources in there to help you understand the character better. And while like you're not going to go in there and find all these super amazing, top Olimar players chatting it up all the time, you'll find people who are willing to help you, and you might find something similar in the Mega Man Discord if you're not already in it. If you're
I,
not in it, I could.
I think I'm in it, but I really get like I kind of don't understand how to use it, like with the app.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
kind of confusing to me.
No, okay. That's definitely
Yeah.
something worth looking into and messing around. Like maybe go in the general channel and be like, hey guys, if you can just find your way there, be like, hey, I'm new to this. I don't really know how to use Discord that well. I'm new to Mega Man, or I want to learn Mega Man more. Is there a way you guys could help me out with that? And they're usually pretty nice on that.
Oh,
But
okay.
like that should help you get in a better idea of how to use the pellets. But if you watch like good Mega Man players like Yeti or Morpheus or Peanut or whoever it may be, pay attention to how they're attacking when they're using pellets, like when they're using it next to their opponent, like so you can get an idea of what the range at which you want to use these attacks are and things like that.
Okay.
All right, let me do that. And I know like I'm throwing a bunch of information at you, but like I said earlier, since you're on the newer end of like really understanding, there's a lot of things that you want to try and work on, but it's just the biggest thing is just putting in that repeated effort and taking the time to really like learn it as best you can.
I'm gonna try to use the pellet, but
That's good because you want to use them, and you might struggle more at first, but that's you kind of learning when to and like when you should and shouldn't use them. Because like if you get punished and you're like, okay, well I need to be careful there, so then you'll try and make the adjustment for next time most likely.
damn. Oh, I got stuck in. No.
Got the air out of the down tilt.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice. Don't forget to use those pellets more. You don't want to get caught doing only the same few moves.
That'll be so fast. Man.
Yeah, it is very good.
Oh.
So another thing that you can do to help you kind of make those adjustments in your gameplay when you're learning something new or you want to make, like, kind of making those mental reminders, talking yourself through it. So like, how, let's say you wanted to remember a password or something that someone told you, but you couldn't write it down. So you say it over in your head a couple times just to help remember it.
Okay.
That's kind of like what you can do to help you in a middle of a match. So like, let's say you're using the pellets, make those couple reminders a little bit more. Like, remember just to be like, okay, use his pellets or whatever it is. And like, so you're just occasionally reminding yourself. So if you find yourself slipping, you'll be like, oh wait, I haven't been using pellets. I've just been forward smashing. And you're just gonna make those mental reminders to help you keep up with it. And it's like, not to say that you should do it all the time, but just that you're not letting yourself kind of slip back into that autopilot-y state. And that's going to help you get thinking more when you're playing in the game, because you're going to be like telling yourself these things, and that'll help you develop that skill to where you can be playing the game and focusing on it, but also making those little like background thoughts in your mind where you're like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this.
that down smash is so risky because it's slow. It's
Yeah,
so
it is.
strong. Damn it! I should have done something faster.
And that's why where those pellets can come in handy, because they're faster. They have some range on them too. You know what I mean? At a distance like that.
And I think when it's closer, it has knockback, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think when it's like right up next to his cannon.
Yeah, the third one, I think.
Yeah, so you can move in on someone and do like the first hit and then their first two, and then the third one is gonna be more likely to knock them back and put them in a bad situation.
Yeah, I should be more patient with Mega Man and let people like with the pellets. I think approach me.
Yeah, that can definitely help. Don't feel like you have to play defensive, because there's nothing wrong with playing aggressive. I think Mega Man has some decent tools in that. Like I've seen Mega Man like to approach with certain tools of theirs, but just knowing that like you don't always have to do it one certain way when you play.
Oh, I try to do a grab right there.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Close.
Yeah. Wow.
Parry that.
I think I play so annoying with Mega Man. I think people hate me.
I mean, you should, like, when you have a character that can aggravate people like that, you want to use it. Like, look,
Right?
I play Olimar. I'm as used to the hate as it gets.
Yeah. You know what
Um,
people say to me?
Yeah, and like
They
I
always-
don't even play lame.
Uh-huh.
So it's just but you take that and you use that as a tool. It's like, all right, you don't like fighting me, cool. So I'm gonna make it
Yeah.
extra annoying on you, because then the more annoying they get, the more likely they are to make a mistake.
Like okay, I used to play with Ness,
Mhm.
and he's considered annoying. Mega
Yeah,
Man's
yeah.
considered annoying. Olimar is considered annoying.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, maybe I should try, because I was like, who else is a good top tier that I might like, and it's You see, when I start talking, I play really
Oh,
bad.
I just killed myself. No, that's hard. That's a skill that you have to you learn over time.
Yeah, I go neutral when I talk. I can't think. Okay, I was saying, I can play Snake, but like his movement, you gotta get really used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Snake
Yeah.
is very unorthodox. Like, I definitely cannot play Snake. It's someone like he's not someone who interests me a lot to begin with, but it's one of those ones where it's like I kind of need to learn how to play him specifically to really use him effectively.
Yeah. By the way, how do you feel the? Is there any lag?
Oh no, it
Like,
feels fine to me.
I'm in Central America. We're like really far
Yeah,
away.
no, it feels fine to me. I mean, I'm in the bottom left corner of Florida, so it's not
Yeah.
too bad. But yeah, no, it's definitely playable.
Yeah, I have the Ethernet cable and I have a fiber internet.
Okay, yeah.
Like
I'm also
50 megs.
Ethernet,
Yeah.
and I've got the good internet as well, so that's probably why it's really clean on our end. I'm gonna change up the stage a little. I'm just gonna go a couple different characters until I switch over to Olimar. So right now I'm just gonna be playing Kirby. See how that goes.
Should I switch right now? To
No.
Olimar,
If you
or
want to keep
just
playing
wait?
Mega Man, don't you can switch whenever you're ready. You just let me know.
After this one, I'm gonna switch to
Olimar?
Olimar,
Okay.
just to so I can get the Olimar.
I got you, man.
Your all your knowledge.
I got you.
Who do you think it's best against Joker, Olimar or Mega Man?
I feel like they can both do pretty well, to be honest. Mega Man, you might have a little bit easier of a time with in certain cases. Olimar can do well against Joker. The biggest thing is, like, if you're fighting a really defensive Joker who likes to maybe use the downward gun a lot to camp, it can get kind of stressful. But Olimar can take away Arson pretty quickly because he does a lot of damage. He can gimp him pretty efficiently if you're good with your, like, 2-frame attacks, like down smash and down tilt and down air. Because Joker's vulnerable, up B is pretty vulnerable. So they both do well. It's probably going to be preference for you, to be honest.
Like with Mega Man, I think he absorbs too much with when I do the bomb.
Yeah.
He absorbs it with Arson, with the down B.
Yeah.
And then with the Pigments, he always.
Well, so with
I do grab when I stick into him.
Yeah.
I just do grab when I do it.
The counter, yeah. Well, you could also whistle them back with your down B. So if you throw a Pikmin on him and you think he's about to counter it, if you go up and, you know, if you're approaching him and you whistle, that's going to pull them off, but he's still going to be stuck in that lag from the counter.
Oh.
And then it's not going to, he's not going to get any of the Arsene charge off of it because you're going to call it back before it's done any damage.
Okay. Hey, I never thought about that. Just doing like a fake side B.
Yeah, because you throw it and then you immediately pull it back, and then it's like, okay, I threw it because I wanted to try and, you know, bait an option out of you or see how you were going to respond to it.
It's incredible, like the experience that a tournament gives you. Like, I don't know, it's you start playing like really fast. Like, I feel like I just went to my tournament yesterday, but I just learned.
You fight all those really good people there. That's why I always encourage people to go to tournaments as one of the best ways to improve. Because you're fighting all these people who are, you know, there's usually people there that are better than you. But even if they're not necessarily better, there's still a lot of them that are close to you in skill. So that you can get this good practice out. And it puts you in an environment that's a lot more demanding than if you were just playing friendlies.
Yeah, and you want to win because it's a tournament.
Yeah,
so
it's
you play like
way
way serious. Yeah. Yeah, so it's, I don't know. I think I just got addicted to tournaments.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. They're fun.
I can't wait for the next one.
That's good. I'm glad to hear you're really enjoying it. And it's one of those things that's probably just gonna keep getting better. You know, you're gonna make a bunch of friends there. You're gonna keep getting better at the game, and it's just a good time all around. So something I'm noticing that you're also not doing with Mega Man is his up smash out of shield is really quick, and it's a good punish option if someone hits your shield with something unsafe. So don't be afraid to, like, use that out of shield if someone hits you with something that's not super safe. Like, Kirby's got a couple safe aerials, but if I, like, you know, up B on your shield, if I do a smash attack on your shield, it's likely that you're going to be able to punish me with that up smash out of shield and potentially take a stock.
You know what? I was just saying yesterday, like when I came back from the tournament, I played like online with a friend. He lives in the States, and I was like, you know what? I don't what I usually don't do. It's up smash out of shield, and it's so fast and it picks people up, right?
Yeah, it's got a good hitbox on it, so you can catch them when they're on the sides and stuff.
No.
There we go. This should take it. No. Oh yeah, you did. That was. Yep. So you said you wanted to go Olimar now?
Yeah, just let me. I need to pee real fast.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
I just drank a coffee and then I don't know.
Oh yeah, that'll go straight through you.
Just let me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
So I'll be
I'm gonna
switched
change.
over to Captain Falcon for a couple matches, just to get a feel for your Olimar, and then if you want, we can towards later on a little bit, I can play some Olimar against you and show you how I do it and things like that.
Okay. What I always do with Olimar, I don't know, it's try to let the Pikmins rack up the with side B
Yeah, yeah.
the percentage, and then maybe get in close, get a grab, stuff like that. I always do side B when people approach me, and I shouldn't do it because
Yeah, it's one of those things where you want to be careful about when you're doing it, because if you do it with anything but a purple, there's no knockback on it,
yeah.
so that your opponent's gonna be able to punish you and things like that, and then you're just gonna get punished, and you're gonna put in disadvantage. So it's one of the things that you got to work on, like paying attention to when your opponent is coming in, how close you are to them. But he's also got a couple good tools to hit them. Um, when they're close, he's got a smash attack, obviously. He's got his grab, he's got his aerials. His aerials are transcendent, meaning they're kind of like swords.
Yeah.
So that's a really good way to like hit them.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's got a big grab radius on it.
Yeah.
But with Olimar, you don't wanna like view him as a character. You have to play in one specific way. He kind of is able to be played in a bunch of different ways. You can play aggressive with him. You can play defensive with him. Depending on what Pikmin you have in your lineup, you can play different with him. And that change, he's like constantly changing. And that's one of the reasons that I really like him.
Yeah, like, well, I don't know why, but I always feel I want to play him like you play it, you know?
It's hard. It definitely is not easy, and it takes there's a lot of understanding exactly how to play him, because with Olimar you don't want to. So I guess I'll put it this way. You know how each Pikmin has its own strength, the blues are best for grabs, the purples have the
Yeah.
side B that hit really hard. So ideally what you do is you use each Pikmin for their ideal use. So you would always grab with a blue, you would always do this. But
Okay.
that's difficult because you can't always have every perfect Pikmin for every scenario. But at the same time, your
Yeah.
opponent's also going to be trying to attack you. So it's trying to find this perfect balance in that,
Mhm.
you're using each Pikmin for the best attack you can with it, so you're letting that kind of influence your decision making, where, maybe if you have a red or something, you might be less likely to grab than if you have a blue. But then also
Yeah.
identifying that you can't always grab with a blue and having to go, okay, well, now I need to maybe mix it up and go for a forward smash because they think that I'm going to grab them or something like that. So it's this really weird balance of using the Pikmin for its best use, each color for its best use, but also always evaluating the current state of the game and going, okay, I don't think they're going to be ready for this mix up and things like that. And Pikmin management is one of those things where it's a skill that you kind of refine over time, paying attention to your lineup, looking out for it, always knowing which color Pikmin is next and all that stuff. And it's one of the things that, the better you get at it, the faster you're going to be able to play Olimar, and then also, you're going to learn to just attack with each Pikmin in the ideal use. You're going to be like, oh, I have a purple, so I should go for this attack. I have a yellow, I can do that, and things like that. But he is a character that I think, more than most, requires just, a lot of practice to really make the most out of him.
I try to do backers, but I wasn't able. Damn, I just feel like I'm not giving my best performance with Olimar right now.
No,
Captain Falcon's just too fast.
It's also, I'm really good at fighting Olimar. So, whereas against someone else you might have a better time doing something, I know exactly how to punish and get in on and around Olimar. So for me, it's just okay, I know exactly, how to beat this option, what to do here, what I can do to your Pikmin if, this happens, and so on and so forth.
Oh, I was doing a grab. No.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with it there. Sometimes it can be easier to try and ride the wall like upwards in that like steep 90-degree angle, because then it might be harder for the opponent to drop down and hit you. Or if they do, you maybe have the chance to tech it on the wall or something like that, depending on your percent.
Oh. Yes. Damn it, I was scared there, so I didn't approach. That's what happened. Oh. Oh man, I walked right into it.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So I just
when I sometimes do up B, I just want to go down fast, but I don't know, I kind of get stuck like floating up.
Yeah, so his up B is momentum based, in that like when you start going a direction, it's really difficult to not go that direction anymore. Or if you do, like you have to stop, let that like momentum go away, and then start it up. But when you're doing that, you know, you're kind of burning up that fuel that he has, because his up B is like a fuel based system.
Yeah, and they shorten it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, no. So what happened in the nerf was they kept the overall time the same of it, but they shortened the recharge rate of it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Or not shortened, but they slowed it. So it takes like 3 times as long to recharge the full distance now. So like you'll always have that same cap of how far you can go, but it will recharge much slower. Let's say you're in the middle of it and you used up almost all of it and you got knocked away. Whereas pre-patch you could like drift down a lot, you know, and then really ride it all the way up and get a lot back. Now you get a lot less back and you can get gimped much easier. But with Olimar, you know, sometimes when you get knocked off stage like that, you want to save your double jump. Maybe you want to throw some Pikmin, so you double jump and throw Pikmin, or you just throw them, and then you want to try and get as many Pikmin away from you as you can to help recover. Not saying you always need to throw them all. Just you know, if you don't have to, you generally want to keep. You don't want to throw them all because you want to try to have one on you to defend yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sometimes I forget to throw them, and I'm like, I'm playing Olimar.
So, and when you want to go down, the thing about Olimar's up B that you kind of don't go down with it that effectively. What I tend to do if I want to go down is like I'll just let go of my control stick, and then you'll start falling like while you're still in the up B, and then you can kind of control it because you can kind of hover that way with it. Or if you like tap up like just slightly while you're doing it, you'll be able to like kind of maintain that height. But
does neutral air help? Like if you do a neutral air? But if you're on like on top of the stage, let's say you want to go down.
Oh, are you saying you want to like cancel your up B and then and then fall to the ground?
Yeah.
So any aerial can do it because so you can cancel the up B with any aerial, but falling on someone with a neutral air can help, especially if you have no Pikmin. It can also try and shield poke them. Falling with an up air can help as well, because it's really easy to auto cancel that move. It's got a rather short duration, and I think it's the end lag on it. It's not terrible if you do it right. So a lot of times you'll see Olimars kind of like fall, and they'll either up air or down air from a certain height, and they know when they hit the ground the animation is going to be in that auto cancel window, so they'll land with no lag. You can also do it with forward air and back air, but falling with an aerial is generally preferred at a lot of different heights. Or you can even like, you know, look like you're about to go in and then up air and fast fall and then maybe juke back and drift backwards and try and fall to the ledge or something like that, depending on what you're comfortable with doing at the time. I wanted to ask you something though. Are you familiar with how to DI effectively? Like, do you understand how that mechanic works?
It's do I pull the stick like on the the other way when I I always pull it the other way when I'm going,
it's a little bit of a complex thing because there's something called LSI, which is launch speed influencer, I believe, and then there's DI, which is directional influence. And you want to do both at different times. So traditional DI is if I hit, you know, let's say I'm Olimar and I use my up throw, right? That sends you almost a 90-degree angle upwards. I think it's like a 91 or 92-degree angle technically, but it's pretty much straight upwards, right? So let's say I'm Olimar and I'm facing to the right, and I grab someone. If I grab that person, the way they would want to DI that move is they would want to hold perpendicular to it. So they're going to want to hold straight across, like, you know, they'd make a T shape almost. You know, if they're going straight up, they want to hold straight to the right.
Straight to the right? Like,
yeah.
Well, if you're going up, don't you pull it down?
Here,
like the stick?
no. I'm gonna go Olimar and I'm gonna show you an example for it. No, the reason you don't pull down when you're going upwards is because the way what DI is you're influencing the angle at which you go. So what that means is, so you can just stand. I'm gonna rack up some percent and show you.
Okay, so I think I'm understanding.
It's a little bit of a complex.
You can only change like the angle, not like go against it.
You can go against it, but not for vertical moves, and that's LSI, which I'll point out in just a second. But I'm just gonna get some damage on you real quick.
Okay.
All right, so that should be good. So I'm gonna up throw you, and I want you to just not do anything with your stick. Just let go of your stick when I do this up throw, okay?
Okay.
So you see how that sent you almost straight up? It slightly went outwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna grab you again. And I want you to hold the same way my Olimar's facing, so to the right, and ever so slightly down. So you're like 1 or 2 degrees down, right?
So to the right.
To the right and slightly down.
Slightly.
Yeah. All right. Here, let me try it again. To make sure so you're ready. So I'm gonna do that.
So if I'm looking at the at the controller, you know, it has 8. It has 8, right? 8 corners.
Yeah.
It's the corner between the down and the right.
Kind of. More like the right and barely down. I'm talking like real small. But I want you to hold that on your stick when I grab you, and then I'll show you. Okay. So are you ready?
Okay.
All right. So you see how you went way farther to the right?
Yeah.
So what that is that's directional influence. So on vertical moves especially, but every move really, directional influence is you inputting a perpendicular force to it. And what that's doing is that's curving, that's letting you go from this almost 90-degree angle to like a much more curved line. And what's doing is, since you're curving, you have to travel more distance to get to the same height or the same point. And that's good because that extra distance that you travel, one, it makes you have to go farther to get to the same top of the blast zone, but it also lets you get out of the hit stun earlier, because when you're traveling all that distance, you're still... It's no different than if you were going straight up. It's taking you longer to get there, so the hit stun's running out.
Okay.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna ask you, what if you throw me like to the right of the screen?
So yeah, I was just about to so DIing for things vertically, especially DI is you inputting a vertical or sorry, not a vertical, a perpendicular angle on your control stick to influence the direction that you're going, and you generally want to DI to the corners of the blast zones, because that's what's gonna take you the longest to get there. Like if I was to hit you directly to the right, it's gonna take less distance for you to just die off the side than if I hit you to the right and you tried to angle your stick to go to the top right blast zone, because there's way more distance that it takes to get over there to the top right. So that is DI, and you can do that on pretty much everything, right? Now, the thing you're thinking of where you hold like down, if you want, you know, to put opposite of an up, that is LSI, and that only works on horizontal moves. That doesn't work on vertical moves. So like if you hold down, if I up throw you and you hold down, it will do nothing.
Nothing, okay.
Because you're not inputting an angle that's going to affect your direction. You're not DIing it because you're not holding a proper angle, and you can't LSI moves within a certain angle range. So like those vertical moves, but horizontal. So like I'm gonna forward throw you right here, and
just pull right.
No, you want to do a mix of the DI and the LSI. So if I grab you here, you would be sent to the left. So you would want to hold right to LSI it, but you would also want to hold up and in to kind of offset the straight to the left angle.
Okay, so it's if you throw me here to the left, I will have to hold right and up a little bit.
Slightly up, yeah. And that's a mix of you holding, so you're holding in, which inputs that opposite force to help you live, but then you're also holding the slight up, which is perpendicular to the slight out and up angle you're getting sent at. So it's going to DI it as well as LSI.
Okay.
So I'll forward throw you here, and I want you to hold that up and in.
Okay.
You would have died had you not DI'd that. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because you're putting in the opposite force with the LSI from right or left to help you go less distance, because that puts in an opposite force to reduce the overall knockback, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the DI is curving the angle that you're getting knocked at, the direction you're getting knocked at, and you're inputting an opposite angle, which helps you curve it, which makes you travel more distance to get to the same point, which lets lets the knockback run out, the hit stun run out, gives you more time, lets you act out of it,
Hmm.
sooner than you would if you held straight. And that's the way DI works at its fundamental level.
Damn, this is news to me.
Yeah, it's
I
a little
thought
complex.
I thought it was just like hold the stick
Opposite of
like
where you're getting hit.
opposite of where you're going.
Yeah, no, trust me, man. When I was really bad at my DI way back in the day, that's what I thought. And LSI was a mechanic that was added in Smash 4, and in this game. Before that, it was just DI, which was the directional influence where you do the perpendicular angle. That's how it used to be. And holding down there, or holding the opposite direction, never did anything for you then. So LSI is the opposite angle, which you'll do on more horizontal-based moves. But yeah, do you have any questions about that?
No, it's pretty clear.
Alrighty, alright. Here, we can just play this game with 2 stock just to make it fair. If you want to end your stock, we'll just play this from there, and then we'll play some more matches after.
Yeah. I Oh yeah, with Olimar, well, I still play with the. I always do my smash with the stick and A.
That's.
I don't know.
I'm
just really.
there are Olimar players that do tilt stick. I mean, I would always recommend smash stick for Olimar because of how often you're doing them. But if you're comfortable doing it, don't. If you can do it, do it. It's just tilt stick's not the most useful for him, but it's preference at the end of the day.
It's because like I don't know. I have a really bad tough time. Yeah, I have a really tough time doing tilts with the stick. It always comes out as a smash. So
Yeah, it's because you require that that less heavy input on your stick. One of the reasons that you often that most people say use smash stick for Olimar is because the main tilt you use for Olimar is down tilt, and that's much easier to do since you kind of just hold down and you hit A. The difference between hitting a tilt and a smash is one, the press of the stick. Like, you generally don't want to go as far on your stick. Like, this is me holding my stick at not all the way up. It's only pressed up slightly and I'm hitting A. But if you hold up, like I'm holding all the way up right now and I'm doing it, because a smash attack is you hitting the control stick and A at the same time.
Yeah.
But a tilt is you doing it, the stick already pressed.
Yeah, I think I have the high sensitivity too.
That also does reduce the window. I personally use normal sensitivity.
Because you use tilts with the stick, right? With the normal stick.
Yeah. I use my tilt with the normal stick, and I use my smashes with my C stick.
Okay.
But yeah, it really is preference. But the reason a lot of Olimars say to have smashing is easier because the tilt you do the most is down tilt. So your up tilt and F tilt you're not using that often. So that's why most people are like, well, I can just use it whenever I need to occasionally, and then I use my smash stick. But it is preference, so do what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But if you want... Oh, this game's about to end because of time. Alright, that's fine. We can just restart a new game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really is preference. Like, my controls are... I use a Pro Controller because I don't like the GameCube controller.
I used to use the Pro Controller a lot in the
Smash 4?
Smash 4 because I didn't get a...
GameCube controller adapter?
Adapter. I still have my GameCube controller from 2001. I have 4 of them.
So I actually use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck in Smash 4 and Brawl.
Yeah, they used to use the smash attacks with the movement.
With the no. I had my smash attacks on the D-pad.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but that's not supported on the Switch, so I switched to the Pro Controller because I found it more comfortable. But my control setup is on the Pro Controller. It's the default control settings: tap, jump on, normal sensitivity, smash stick. The only things I change are I set my Y button on my Pro Controller to attack, so I don't accidentally jump with it, and I have A/B smash turned off.
Okay. Do you use the tap jump?
Yeah, I use tap jump. I don't like to use a jump button.
Yeah, I'm like...
Most people don't use tap jump.
Yeah.
And that, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that.
Samsora said he uses it for some combos or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it can help in some cases. I mean, I have a jump button mapped, and I use it in really niche cases where, like, I want to make sure that I don't mess up my tap jump or something, but on average, it's just tap jump all the time.
Damn. Which one was that? Like, I think it was Frostbite or Glitch 6, I think. Oh no, it was the time I started watching like pro playing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I saw you against Shuton, and
Oh yeah, that was Frostbite.
he was doing I think he was Richter.
Yeah, yeah, Richter. Yeah.
Damn, that was so hype.
Yeah, yeah. People love that
I
set.
think that was, oh man, I want to play Olimar.
Yeah, that was a hype set. I actually played him twice that tournament. I beat him in winners in the Olimar Ditto, and then he went Richter in losers, and I beat him there as well. Olimar
Yeah.
players don't like to play me in the Olimar Ditto in tournament because I'm really good at it. Like, the Buzz doesn't play me in it. I don't know if Shuton... I feel like Shuton might do it again. Like, they're both good in the Ditto. It's just... It's really hard to beat me.
Did you used to play other Olimar players a lot and do dittos?
Yeah, it's actually my favorite matchup to play. I practiced with the Buzz. I've practiced with other Olimars like Army in Texas. Some other ones who I was friends with. I try to play with Shuton whenever we're in person at the same tournament. I like to practice with him. But I just really like playing it, and I know so much about Olimar that I know how Olimar players like to think. I know what they can do. I know the limits of my character, so I know how to punish things. And I've got so many tricks up my sleeve. Like, I know how to desync my Pikmin. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. You know, so...
I got a desync, but it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, see, when I'm doing it, it's like always on purpose. It's very deliberate.
And I think it was a forward smash or a grab, and I was like, yeah,
they're fun. They feel good.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, when I play like Dittos, Olimar Dittos, like it's, I don't know, it's too much chaos for me.
It's something that you practice over time. I promise you that. But that's Olimar, to be honest. He's one of those you just practice him over time.
So yeah, with Olimar, I do a lot of backtracking and throw my Pikmin and then try to, I don't know, get a grab or
You don't
hit.
want to rely too much on throwing your Pikmin. You know, you've got your jab, you've got your down tilt, you've got your smash at your aerials. Like, you see how, like, I'm coming at you and I'm attacking and I'm doing all these attacks? Like, I don't mind using my attacks. That's because I want to try and pressure you.
I'm always, like, scared of doing that. I want to pressure people. Like, I feel like I can't. I don't understand. Well, I understand what it is. But, I don't know.
It's like one of the things where you have to get out of your comfort zone and try it. Because that's the best way to learn it, is to be like, okay, well, what can I do? And when you're playing against friendlies, against someone, or you're practicing or something that's not necessarily a tournament match, like, don't be afraid to just experiment and see, like, oh, let me try and go, you know, aggressive here or something. Let me try and do this, you know, and see how far I can go. And you got to be able to experiment.
That's what I tell my girlfriend. Like, I taught her how to play like Smash.
Oh yeah.
And she's good now. Like,
well,
she plays Peach.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes she like beats my Olimar.
Oh wow.
Like
okay.
like Peach like I don't know, she can get the Pikmin soft like really fast.
Yeah, that's a very annoying matchup if you're not super good about it.
Damn it, I can't get away. Damn.
Like
you
right
read
there,
that. You read that like a telegram.
Right there, I knew you were coming over. Like, had you spaced that to where you hit the tip of your forward air, like it was really well spaced, you weren't super going all the way in, I wasn't gonna be able to up smash you. But since I saw and I knew that you were probably gonna go all the way in, and you overcommitted, and you put your body in a really unsafe spot, I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna up smash him. I have a yellow Pikmin. It's gonna have a bigger hitbox. I'm probably gonna be able to catch him.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think about that stuff. Like, which I do the down smash with the yellow one, so it has a bigger box on the
on the ledge.
On the ledge, yeah.
Yep, yellow down smash is super good for like the 2 frames and like edge guarding opponents because it's so big. So that's good that you're doing that, and that's one of those things where like you're using the Pikmin for the best use you can and things like that on it.
Oh. I always love that tech. That
the jab
lock.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah,
yeah. Does Pichu and
Pikachu.
and Pikachu beat Olimar, or does Olimar beat them?
It depends on who you ask. Pichu definitely loses to Olimar. Pikachu, some people think Pikachu wins. I personally think it's an even matchup. But Pichu definitely loses to Olimar. Oh,
No.
misspaced it.
Because of the fair, he doesn't grab the ledge, right?
Yep, yeah, he won't grab the ledge if he's in the middle of an animation for one of his attacks.
With Olimar, how do you get the Pikmin off? Like, is there a move?
Up smash and down tilt I find are the best.
Down tilt? Okay.
Yeah, up smash can also work.
Oh, by the way, I noticed wow, his up tilt and nair, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, so you use them differently. Obviously for his neutral air you have to be in the air to use it, and it's also, it comes out frame 7. I'm not sure how familiar you are with frame data, but I'll just like touch down on it basic briefly to describe how the moves are a little different. His neutral air is frame 7, but you also have to be in the air. So let's say you're on the ground, it would take 3 frames of jump squat plus 7 frames to start up. His neutral air is frame 6. It's actually tied as his second fastest move, or second fastest attack with down tilt.
Down tilt, okay.
And up tilt is good because it can be followed up off of nair, because it's pretty quick hits on both sides. You could use it as an anti-air or to poke opponents above you or on a platform, because he jumps up and he hits with his antenna and things like that. It's a multi-hit.
That's the up tilt?
His nair, you have more free reign, because his up tilt, you're stuck on the ground, but his neutral air, you're in the air. And then up tilt, you kind of follow up really only with, like, occasionally another up tilt, maybe sometimes an up air, depending on the opponent and all that. But, like, neutral air is one of the ones where, depending on how you land with them, you can get all these different follow-ups, like different aerials, smash attacks, jab. They're very different in that application.
Okay.
So they look similar, but they're different.
I think I did bad DI.
Maybe, if you weren't expecting it. Like right there, I went for neutral air and up tilt.
Hey, you know what? Like, playing right now, I'm just kind of getting used to it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you pick up more over time.
It's like you're just too fast for me. Like I can assure you, I play a little bit better of Olimar in an amateur way.
No, I mean, you're fine.
Right now, I just feel like I can't do anything against you.
Like, one of the reasons I like to play fast is I want to make it hard for my opponent to keep up. So, like, yeah. I like to just be like, I'm going to throw so much stuff at you, and that's how I like to play Olimar. And for most people who aren't familiar with it, it is very tough.
So I know you tweet a lot about this, but why do you think Nintendo like doesn't fix the shield? Yeah, that's not fair.
I don't know.
Like, I was starting to like fall in love with Olimar, and then they nerfed the shield.
They did him dirty.
Yeah, and I'm like, and like I how do you say it? I concur with you.
Yeah.
Like it's well, wait, did I fall?
Yeah, you just went and killed yourself.
I thought I was I got confused.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. There's so many problems with him that they don't fix, and some of them they put in the game and they barely fix anything, and they nerfed him on top of that. I think they're dumb. I think they don't
I think
prioritize it.
yeah, I think that you the boss and Shuton, like you guys been playing Olimar since the other games,
Yeah.
and then I think he got better in this game,
So
and
he
then
was really good in Brawl. He was worse in
mhm.
Smash 4. He was still good in Smash 4, just not how he was. And in this game when it came out, he was really good. I thought he was the best character in the game.
And then
Actually.
like you guys already knew how to play him, and then you guys were doing work, right?
Yeah. We were all like,
And
if we were at a tournament, we were probably in top 8.
yeah, I remember that. I was like a lot of snakes and Oliver.
Yeah, there was a lot of snakes and a lot of Olimar.
And it was my first time, like getting used to watching pro players and stuff.
Mhm.
And then I just think people got like they didn't know how to play against Olimar, and
Oh yeah,
they just
yeah.
got scared and they just nerfed
A lot of
him and-
complaining. They were like, "This
Yeah.
isn't fair. He's broken." But realistically, as someone who's played Olimar, you know that not everything is as broken as everyone makes it out to be.
No, like when I hate when people attack me and I'm doing an up smash or
And
something, and
they just beat it. They go through it.
they like or Little Mac with his punches or
Yeah.
Terry, he evaporates.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's
Pigments.
annoying.
Mhm.
So I just noticed the time seems like a good place to
Okay.
wrap it up. So I'll give you just some
Yeah.
closing thoughts and stuff. I definitely think you're obviously like really early on and really figuring out the game, and that's good. I'm glad I pointed out the DI thing because that's gonna help you a lot in knowing how to live, and that's something that you're probably gonna have to work on as well. That mental setting those mental reminders so you don't fall back into the way you were trying to DI before where it was wrong, because if you do that you're going to keep messing up your stock. So when you're getting hit, try to remember what I was saying. The DI is the perpendicular angles, and you do that on all attacks. The LSI.
I have one question.
Sure.
When I go on the side, you told me, okay, go on the country against it,
Yeah.
but do it on an angle. But
Yeah.
it's always up, right? Always up.
So-
because I don't want to do it down, right?
You can do it down in some cases with Olimar if you feel like it's going to be better for the move, just because certain moves send you at a downward angle. And also, the reason
Okay.
most people go up is because you're going to be more vertically high, and it's going to be easier to recover. But
Yeah.
going down would also technically put you close to the blast zone corner,
Okay.
so it could provide the
Mhm.
same effect. And with Olimar's
Mhm.
recovery, sometimes you can still recover. It's just generally people tend to go up. It's something that you would evaluate on move to move, but generally you want to go upwards.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that you always DI hit no matter what it is, whether it's vertical, horizontal, diagonal. You want to do the perpendicular angle to try and whatever perpendicular angle on your stick is going to help you go towards that corner blast zone, right?
Okay.
So it'll change. And then for the horizontal moves, more of those, not really the vertical ones, you would also want to input the opposite force for that. So if you were going left, you would want to hold right some. You would want to hold right, and then add maybe a slight upwards incline on your stick to have that DI and that LSI.
Okay.
But yeah, just work on playing your characters more. Definitely try and watch some videos of other Olimar and Mega Man players, just to see how they're doing things like that. Play the characters a lot. That's the best way to really do it. And the more you're playing them, when things don't work out, try and ask yourself why aren't certain things working? What happened there? Did I side B too early with Olimar and that's why I got hit, or side B too late with Olimar and that's why I got hit? And try and look at it yourself. But for you, the biggest thing is just like working on not autopiloting a lot, letting yourself be very aware of what's happening, and all of that, so you're able to identify when these things are going wrong, or identify when you're slipping back into your more basic habits that you really want to work out of right now.
Yeah. I see that when I do side B and people are like approaching me, they hit me. It happens a lot with Mega Man too, because he does the little bomb, the sticky bomb.
The crash bomb, yeah.
And it doesn't have a knockback; it just sticks to you. Yeah.
So, did you have any last minute questions you wanted to ask me?
I think I'm good. I'm gonna practice a lot, and
Okay.
I would like to do another session, maybe next week or in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, we can set it up whenever you're feeling comfortable. Just shoot me a DM on Twitter. We can work out the dates and all that stuff. If you want to take some time to try and apply what I've said and work on your own game, more than happy to hear about it. I will get you this stuff. I'll send it to you within a couple days. If you ever have any one-off question you need to ask me, don't hesitate to shoot me a direct message, and I'll try and help you. But with that said, I'll try and get you this stuff soonish, and have a good day, man.